Speaking of the draft, Sam Vecenie said the Pistons should draft Scoot Henderson and figured out later. He compared the Pistons situation to the Philadelphia 76er drafting 3 centers in consecutive drafts until they hit on Joel Embiid. Yeah, we talked about this plenty of times. I don't know. Like, I don't draft Scoot Henderson just because he's there, because I think the Pistons are they're at the point where you can go best fit available. Now, if there were question marks about Ivy or question marks about Cade, yeah, draft Scoot Henderson. But there aren't any question marks about those two other than injury concerns. Like, Jaden Ivey looks like to be the real deal. He's developed quickly. Cade Cunningham, when he's been healthy and available, he's looked like the real deal. So, yeah, I think you can pass on Scoot Henderson and go a different direction, like we were talking about earlier, Brandon Miller or, Joris Walker if you slip, or Cam Whitmore or something. So, yeah, I don't agree with Sam on this. And the Pistons have already gone 3 guards in a row, and they hit it twice. They got lucky hitting it twice. Try another position, see if you hit somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was kind of just like probably replying to the article he had, because he did a piece with James Edwards, and they kind of were talking about like what do the Pistons do if they're at 2, and he's like, just draft Scoot. Like, you don't have a star. He's like, I like Cade, I like Ivy, but they're not stars, and like, you just keep drafting until you get a star. He's like, that's what Philly did, and it's just like, those Philly teams were so bad that they were just drafting, top 5 every year, and they hit on Joel Embiid. Obviously, he's one of the best centers in the NBA. I mean, you could argue him and Jokic are 1 and 2. But I don't really like this thought process because, to your point, like you said, Pistons hit on Jaden Ivey. I think we can all agree Jaden Ivey has been one of the best players out of this draft class. I'm happy with it.
Why? I don't get this. This is just it just irritates me. How can you say Jaden Ivey or Cade Cunningham aren't stars? We're just at the beginning of their careers. You have to give them more time. What are you watching where you can sit there and confidently say that? I would like to know. Explain it. Maybe he did in the article. I didn't read it, but how can you say that right now about Cade Cunningham? We haven't even seen. He only played 17 games this year, and then he's been out ever since. And yeah. He's a rookie. He's a rookie right now, and he's put in some highlight plays. He's developed quickly. He looks good. How can you sit here and say they aren't stars? And then tell me what a star is. What is it? Like, and how are you saying it about these players? Because, again, I don't care if Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey are stars as long as they start winning games. If they win games, I don't care what their title is to the rest of the league, because they'll be stars to me.
Yeah, like in the article, he basically said that the Pistons aren't in a position right now to draft for fit. It's kind of to his question is like, yeah, you're not going to draft Brandon Miller if you're at 2 because you've won 60 games in the past 3 seasons. Like, you need to draft best player available, figure out later, draft Scoot Henderson, because he could turn into a star. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see what he does turn into, but most people think he will be a star guard. I think he will too.
Yeah.
But this is where I disagree with it. The Pistons have actually hit on Cade. They hit on Ivy. Now, if you're at 2, you draft Scoot, I'm not mad at it. He's the second best player out of this draft class. I'm not mad at it at all. But to kind of use the Philadelphia 76ers logic of, the Pistons haven't drafted any stars, like, dude, Cade Cunningham probably would have been an all-star this year if he didn't get hurt. I mean, he was averaging 27 and 8 on one leg. It's just the recency bias with these media members, these draft experts. Like, yeah, I would draft Scoot since Cade and Ivy aren't stars.
Yeah,
like it's just it's such a closed-minded argument right now that I just sometimes when I'm reading these articles and I'm just like, dude, really, this is what we're doing. I don't get it, man. Like, I've always been draft best player available, but to sit here and say, they haven't hit on anything, I just don't agree with it.